Welcome back to Copper Age. Wait, what? What do you mean I'm not doing the intro? I always do the intro. This is my show. This is my channel. Who else could possibly do the intro?
This is Chris Claremont. You're watching Copper Age Gold.
Oh, legendary comic book writer Chris Claremont. Yeah, he can do the intro. Copper Age Gold. Welcome back to Copper Age Gold. On this episode, we go to Cincinnati Comic Expo. So the first thing we did when we got to Cincinnati, we headed to one of our favorite places to eat called the Incline Public House. We love it. I mean, it literally sits on a hill overlooking downtown Cincinnati, and the views are incredible, and the food is amazing. Check out Incline Public House if you're ever down in Cincinnati and you're hungry. So we made it to downtown Cincinnati. I headed straight to the Duke Energy Center because I was on a mission, boy. I had VIP for Cincinnati Comic Expo, and if you've never done VIP for Cincinnati Comic Expo, or any comic expo for that matter, or convention, consider checking it out, consider doing it, because for this show in particular, you get in an hour early on Friday, which means you get in an hour before general admission, and it's well worth the money because you get to have the first handful of people in line for comic book creators or for celebrities or just to shop, get the best toys or the best comics out there, man. It's well worth your money. Do the VIP for Cincinnati Comic Expo. So the first thing I did was headed towards Larry Hama's booth. Now, I love Larry's stuff. I grew up reading G.I. Joe and got nothing but love for Larry. I've met him a couple times. Got a couple sketches from him in the past, which I absolutely love. First one was Storm Shadow. Second one was Snake Eyes. What can I say, man? But I didn't have that on my agenda. I did have a couple books that I wanted him to sign. And sure enough, he hooked me up. Let me show you what I got. The first book is G.I. Joe 24, which is the first cameo appearance of Zartan. Now, this book was already signed by Mike Zeck and John Beatty, but adding Larry is awesome. Thank you, Larry. Up next, I had Larry sign G.I. Joe number 25, the first full appearance of Zartan. And again, I already had Mike Zeck and John Beatty sign this, so adding Larry, cherry on top. Thank you, Larry. Next, I had Larry sign G.I. Joe number 38. Now, this isn't one of those books that's like a classic first appearance or something crazy happened. I just happen to love this cover. I mean, look at that. Come on. Tell me that is not awesome. Storm Shadow, Destro, badass. And again, Mike Zeck, John Beatty had already signed it, so adding Larry, perfect. Up next is a book that just recently has taken off, just skyrocketed to the moon, man. Thanks to Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman announcing that they will both reprise the roles of Deadpool and Wolverine and be a part of Deadpool 3. This book has just exploded. Of course, I'm talking about this guy right here, Wolverine number 88, which is the first meeting of Wolverine and Deadpool. First fight, first face-off, whatever you want to call it. This is it. I already had Mr. Kubert sign it, so adding Larry, love it. So after meeting Larry and having him sign a couple books for me, I was putting my books away and I was getting ready to wander over to David Mack or Humberto Ramos or anybody really. Getting Larry was like the first thing on my list to do that day. Chris Claremont was going to be there, but he was not scheduled to be there until Saturday and Sunday. So I didn't plan on getting him, but I did have the books that I was going to have him sign with me, just in case, right? You never know. Things can change, right? So I'm putting my books away, getting ready to go check out the next creator. And sure enough, I see Chris Claremont walk up and, say hey to Larry. And I'm like, oh, well, that's unexpected, but great. So yeah. So I decided to kind of stalk what Mr. Claremont was doing to kind of scope out and see if he was going to be setting up and, doing the show or just there to visit. And sure enough, he was there and he was setting up and he was getting ready to go. So I figured, why not? Get my books out, get them ready, and wait patiently. And sure enough, I was one of the first handful of people in line on Friday to meet Mr. Chris Claremont. And couldn't have been a better time. I love meeting Chris. Love listening to him tell his stories because he has so many stories and it's all gold, man. So here's what I had Chris sign. I loaded up on some books from the Dark Phoenix run that I thought would be cool to get signed. And now some of these are in really nice shape, some of them are not. That's how it goes when you collect things, right? So we're starting off here, of course, with 131. I could not afford 129 or 130, but that's okay. Happy with what I got. 131, of course, classic. Love that. Continuing on, that's right. 132. This is a sweet book. Love it. Glad to have it signed. 133, classic solo Wolverine story. Gotta love that, right? One of my favorites for sure. 134, classic cover. Love it. Phoenix. 135. Yep. I got a bunch signed. What can I say? 136, classic cover. So good. 137, another classic cover. John Byrne kicking all kinds of ass. And then we switched gears a little bit. We went and got a couple of first appearances signed. Of course, New Mutants. Annual number 2, first side lock. Then we got MS Marvel, number 18, first Mystique. And rounding out Avengers, annual number 10. Of course, the first Rogue. Gotta add Mr. Al Milgrom. Of course, Michael Golden, that'd be great. Jim Shooter, probably going to happen. After I got my book signed, took them back to the hotel, dropped them off, came back, did some picture taking, did some shopping, did some more picture taking, that's about it. And then that was it for the con for Friday. After the con, went to the hotel, headed down to Great American Ballpark with the wife, and we caught a Reds game. The Milwaukee Brewers were the team that beat them this time. Great time, though. I picked us a couple great seats, first row and right field. Really cool. Something really cool happened, which I've never done in all my years of going to Major League Baseball games. I got a baseball. Yes! Aquino, the Reds right fielder, tossed the ball up into the stands, and I caught it. Boom. Both hands. Made sure I got it. But yeah, caught a baseball. Quickly gave it to a kid, though. Made his day. So yeah. After the game, we're supposed to go watch some fireworks. There's going to be a big fireworks display, but it started raining a little bit, so we just decided to hightail it and head back to the hotel. And that was it. That was Friday.